Take 3. I started the Rituxan treatment recently. I've received 2 out of the 4 doses. My platelets last Monday on my second dose were 27. Then by Friday, my platelets dropped down to 7, which is the lowest that they've ever been. I called the doctor's office. I noticed I had a lot of bruising. It's almost done now, this bruise, but when they first pop up, they look pretty bad. They're like bright blue with a bump in the middle, the hematomas that I get. They told me to come in and check my blood, and so I ended up getting a transfusion of platelets on Friday night. Today's Sunday. I got the platelets. I had a little bit of a reaction to it. I came home and took some more Benadryl, and that went away. He also wanted me to get 5 days worth of IVIG, so I just had day 2 today of 5 days of IVIG. The IVIG seems to last about 2 to 3 weeks, and I never had any kind of reaction except for once. I had an excruciating headache. I didn't have a reaction this time, yesterday or today, which is great. I'm noticing that, it's getting hard for them to find veins. I have a bruise on my hand. I've got some petechia on my hand from the platelets being really low. Really getting hard for them to be able to access my veins. And they can't use this side because I had 6 lymph nodes taken out when I had surgery for breast cancer. So they're only stuck with this side, and this side is problematic with the veins. So I'm really missing my port. I had the port taken out that I used for chemo when I had surgery last August of 20. Wish I had it, that faithful port. At the same time, it felt really good to get it taken out because I didn't want anything in my body anymore. But now I'm suffering with like the jabs in the arm. It hurts and doesn't always go in the first time and stuff like that. I'm hopeful with Rituxan. It seems to work for a lot of people, even though the efficacy rate is like 60%, 66%. Talked to a lot of people in the Facebook groups, and they have had success with it. Some of them have it after a couple of weeks or a few weeks, and some of them have success like months, many months later, 6 months, 8 months. That's a long time to wait, and especially if my platelets were getting down to 7. Between the platelet transfusion and the 5 doses of IVIG, I don't know what my platelets are going to be, but the first Rituxan treatment, I did have an allergic reaction. I had an allergic reaction to vancomycin, which was an antibiotic that they gave me when I had an infection from the breast reconstruction. It itched everywhere. My whole body was just so itchy. I was like covered in a rash instantly. They stopped the infusion, and I think that's how I got ITP. I think it's from vancomycin because that stuff is known to cause ITP. No, I don't know for sure, but that's my suspicion. That was the only other time I ever had an allergic reaction. So getting this allergic reaction with the Rituxan was expected on the one hand because they said a lot of people have that reaction, that response the first time. But it was also new to me, given how many things they've put inside me from chemo to antibiotics. I'm surprised I haven't had one before. My throat got itchy and kind of swollen. I felt like I had a sore throat that was getting worse by the second, and my ears were itching inside my ears. And anyway, they stopped the infusion and gave me a dexamethasone. I think that's the same thing. And then also some more Benadryl. I got through that, thankfully, and then it hasn't happened again, but I do still have 2 more treatments of Rituxan. God, I feel so tired. If I'm trying to find ways to let go, to surrender, to just accept what is and recognize there's only so much I can do, a lot of it feels like it's just out of my hands. There's a way where I think I just need rest. I just need quiet. I need to be like lying in bed, and that's what I'm doing now. I was talking to somebody recently who was just reminding me that all that chemo that I had in my body is poison. It's poisoned by the treatments for cancer and poisoned by general anesthesia. I mean, all this stuff is poison. It's not going to be easy. It hasn't been easy for me to recover from that. And even though I was a healthy person, for whatever reason, my body, the organism that I am just is not bouncing back. I just try so hard to figure it out. I mean, because sometimes I'm like, am I getting better or am I just slowly dying? I can't tell. I guess if there's not cancer in my body, I don't need to be worried about that. And people don't die from ITP. Anyway, I've become so much more internal. Like, it just feels better for me to write. I've been doing a lot more writing than I have been making videos. I did get the first 3 Rituxan. The second one, it was not a problem. The third one, my cute kitty, my cute little baby. He's so cute. Oh, Jan, you're so tired. IV immunogamma globulin. And that's a common thing that people get. I don't know exactly what that does, but it helps for people with ITP. I went in Saturday morning, like 7 a.m., and got the first infusion. And then I got the second one on Sunday. And then by Monday, I was supposed to get the third Rituxan and the IVIG. And I felt like crap. I came in and I was like, I feel very flu-like. I just feel, like I achy all over and a little bit of a headache and kind of a runny nose, kind of like I have now. I was feeling like I didn't really want to go through with the infusion, but they gave me the Benadryl and the Tylenol, and I basically felt fine. So I went through with it. I just felt like complete crap, such crap. On Tuesday, I got in there. I ended up doing it, but I had these, like, sometimes IVIG can give migraines, and I definitely was having migraines. I had to take some Tylenol on my own at home. And then by Tuesday, so I did go through with it Tuesday. By Wednesday, when I came in, I was like just a total wreck. I felt like absolute shit. I felt like I'd gone through chemo, and I went in, and the nurse was like, yeah, you look pale, you look bad. I told her, I was like, Brenda, I need you to advocate for me. I need you to tell them how bad I feel, how bad I look. I cannot go through with the IVIG. Oh, I forgot to say, like, that day prior, they called the doctor and, like, reported that I was having flu symptoms and stuff like that. And I said, can I just please not do the rest of the IVIG? You gave me platelets. Can we just check my platelet number and stuff? And he said, no, the IVIG is more important than the platelets. And I'm like, well, okay. So anyway, by the time I got in on Wednesday, I felt like crap. I looked like crap. And Brenda basically, like, went to bat for me, and he said I'm fine with her not doing the last IVIG. And I just don't know how I could. I was like, I had no appetite. I didn't sleep the night before, major headache, really bad migraines. And I don't get headaches. They gave me fluids. She's like, I had no appetite, 20 minutes worth of fluids. I left the hospital and I went about my day. I actually felt like I was hungry a little bit after. My ex-partner was my savior for the first year of cancer, end of 2017 and all through 18. And he was there with me through all of it. And he's just he's just so special to me. And I called him and asked him to be with me and, like, help me out because I have my daughter. We have this dog. It's just like, it was a lot for me and I felt like shit. So he came and we were about to get food and I just vomit all over the place, but I only vomited up water because that's all that was in me. And then I'm like, okay, I want an apple. I just felt like I needed something. And it's like snowing where I live. It's very dramatic. You vomit and then you feel good after that. It's like, I felt pretty good, but then it started to build up again. Vomiting again. And I felt like shit again. I called the nurse in the infusion center and she asked me if I had any anti-nausea medicine. I did. I had some Zofran. So she said, take one of the Zofrans, and if it makes you feel better, you're good. If it doesn't make you feel better, it doesn't take away the vomiting, then you need to go to the ER because it's something else. Right. And I'm like, so the Zofran, I took that. I felt better. I ended up taking it again. I'm doing okay, but I still feel like crap. It feels, I mean, I'm not vomiting. So yeah, I mean, I feel better in terms of I'm not vomiting and I don't feel nauseous, but I feel shitty in terms of, like, I just don't feel like, well. I don't feel strong. I don't feel well. I feel kind of a little bit like I'm congested a little bit. Just was like clearing my throat. What I think is that my body just hasn't had a chance to recover I went through so much in like all the general anesthesia surgeries, and going through all that was just a lot to deal with. You know, I've been poisoning my body since January of 2018, and it's now March of 2021. That's like, I've literally been nonstop poisoning my body, and also trying to do as much integrative and complementary stuff as I can to offset some of that stuff and to try to make myself like healthy and strong. But because my last surgery was last August of 2020, and I had 7 general anesthesia surgeries, like I just have not had a chance to recover. And then here I am, like doing Rituxan, which this is the whole reason why I didn't want to do Rituxan, was because I wanted one of these other pills to work. Like, you know, it's just a swallowing a pill. I didn't have side effects, but they also didn't work for me. So Rituxan's worked for so many people with ITP. I've talked to a lot of people online. My doctor's office, he says he's pretty sure everybody he's given it to has had some success with it. I mean, that's some good numbers. So finally I decided that, okay, I'll do this. It's my 4th try on trying to figure out this platelet thing and get over this blood disorder, because platelets at 7,000 is not a livable life. I think over 20, you can go about your life. You just have to be careful, you know, you can't fall or like getting into a car accident or something like that. You can still live a good life, you know, you just deal with some of the symptoms, which are like tiredness and bruising easily. And there's a little bit of like a mental, emotional component, I think, that goes along with just dealing with a chronic health issue. But besides that, you know, people live with stuff. So, but 7 in anything under 20, and I've been kind of like camping out under 20 for a while, like 15. I mean, the main risk really is like a spontaneous brain hemorrhage, and that's not good. I mean, there's times when I feel like I've had one, you know, I'll just feel something that feels kind of oozy inside my head, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if that's a really small brain bleed. And, you know, I don't have any symptoms of anything stroke-like. Apparently that's the thing to look for. So I'm assuming I'm okay. I had a chance to recover, and then we put platelets and then IVIG again, IVIG and Rituxan, and then another round of IVIG, and that was all in a 5-day period. I don't have the same body and the same constitution. I'm not the same organism as I was 3 years ago. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 3.5 years ago. I'm just not the same person. I mean, I'm so glad I'm alive. I'm so glad I don't have cancer, as far as I know. And I'm grateful. And also, you know, this blood disorder, it's like, man, is this thing going to push me over the edge? I don't know. I hope not. I've got one more Rituxan treatment coming up this Monday, and I just pray that it goes well and that I'm okay. And I then pray that it works for me. I have an appointment Monday with the Maderi Center, following up on that protocol. I'm gonna, you know, keep doing the herbal stuff to keep cancer at bay. Tuesday I'll get a CBC and find out what my platelets are. And then Wednesday I meet with my hematologist oncologist again. As you can see, like, you know, in the beginning of the video, I'm lying in bed and I'm tired, and it's difficult. It's difficult. So I just share this. So really this one, especially if anyone's going through ITP or trying to find out about Rituxan or just have another experience to reflect on. It's considered a rare blood disorder. So there's not, I mean, there's some information out there, but it's also idiopathic. That's what the I stands for, which means they don't know how it happened. It's really so specific, and what I'm going through, I don't always have the energy to do it. And I also don't necessarily feel like I have a lot of information to pass along, but I do like when people reach out. I do like helping people in any way I can. And I do like hearing other people's stories. And I know sometimes, you know, someone might hear my story and get some little like nugget, some little golden nugget that makes a difference for them in their life, or maybe be inspired in some way. My EMDR therapist was like, I don't know, acknowledging me for being strong. And I'm just like, how strong I am. And I'm like, I don't feel strong. But actually, she's like, you're really the poster child for self-advocacy. And it's, I mean, yeah, I hear people talk about that going through cancer, and it's true. It's, nobody's ever going to advocate for you as well as you can, unless you really have that like hero by your side who is doing that for you. I question almost everything. I want to understand what I'm doing. I don't always do that, but I'm a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes because I just don't take everything. I want to make a choice that feels right for me, and I don't think the doctors are God, yet they know a hell of a lot more than I do, and I try not to let them rush me through. I really want them to take as much time as they can to answer my questions. So anyway, it's good to come prepared. It's good to do your homework and get info, and I appreciate it if you're watching this video, and if I can help in any way, or you have any questions, anybody going through this, I'm here and I'd be happy to help. So yeah, thank you. These are just some cute pictures of my sweet daughter and I hanging out in bed, being goofy, taking pictures. And I'm going to do another video that says what happened with my 4th round of Rituxan and what my platelets did. So hang in there a few more seconds. Okay, so I'm taking the time to make an update because I want to add on what happened with my last Rituxan. I got my last Rituxan after I made the previous part of the video, and my platelets were 330,000. Like, it's crazy. We tested them right after, or when did we test him? No, we tested him a week later because he didn't want to test him right away. And my platelets were 330,000, and I felt amazing. I felt like I was in tears. I was so ecstatic because I had so much energy. I was enthusiastic. I felt vibrant. I had ideas. I was like, I felt like my old self in a way that it's been so long since I felt like what my old self feels like, which is, like happy and joyful and enthusiastic about life. It was amazing. And then I'm like, is the like operative word here, because I got my platelets checked again. Today is Thursday and I had them checked on Tuesday and they went down to 43 or something like that. And I could totally tell that they were crashing after going up so high. Just like, oh my God, I could see that was happening. And now I'm wondering if they're even less. They're probably less now because I've got petechiae on my legs. I've got some sort of like bruising showing up again. I'd forgotten that I didn't do that the 5th IVIG. I only did 4 because it was doing so poorly. So I'm wondering if I'm wondering if that's the reason why I was doing okay. Like why they got up so high and then now they're just crashing back down. But the good news is that the Rituxan still has a chance to work, because as of earlier this week, it was 6 weeks from the start of doing the Rituxan. It can take like 8 weeks, or it can take a little bit longer. So I'm really hoping that the Rituxan's still going to pull through and work for me. But right now, I'm back to feeling like crap. I mean, I can't even express how amazing it was. It just felt incredible. Anybody who says, like the doctors say, that ITP doesn't cause fatigue, and it's just crazy. I'm so fatigued. I mean, I just like lay in bed. I can't do a lot of just basic stuff that I used to be able to do. So I'm going to get my blood checked again. It's Thursday and I'm going to get it checked on Monday. And then I guess we'll see what my platelets are. I feel bummed because it seems like there's a chance that the Rituxan didn't work for me, and I really am like out of options. I could get my spleen out, and I just have a hard time accepting that. I don't know. I just don't know if I could do that or not. That's like another 60% effectiveness. And like, say I get my spleen out and that doesn't work, and then I have no spleen, and then I'm prone to infections, and then we have COVID rampant, and I'm prone to infection, like, and it didn't work for me. Oh my God, I feel like I've had so many bad luck cases that, like, what if I have bad luck again and I go through another surgery, another general anesthesia? I can't do it. I just can't do it, I've just been through too much. I think I just would have to suffer I'm going to see if I can get the IVIG with some regularity. I was just reading that IVIG is like thousands of people's blood. I forget, it's some sort of protein. I think it's some sort of protein in the blood, and it binds to the antibody that the immune system is tagging as an invasive thing, as a foreign body. So anyway, the point is like thousands of people's blood that they scrub and clean and do all this thing to. And so I remember my hematologist isn't a fan of giving blood products regularly because things can happen, you know, which I totally get. And it's just like, what do I do? You know, I'm really just running out of options. So I'll talk to him on Monday and see what happens. But that's the full course of how Rituxan has gone for me so far. Hopefully I'll have something positive to report next week after I get my blood draw. So I just had to do this because I've been editing this video for so long. Like, oh my gosh. So I had to get this done so I could finally post it. Okay.